Yeah, and it must be triggering like your dopamine levels that are spiking.
Sugar is more addictive than cocaine.
Yeah.
So if I get you on the sugar roller coaster, you ain't coming off it. So this is what's happened. 7-Eleven is just, sorry 7-Eleven, just speaking the truth, you're a sugar store. It's
a crack den. I try not to go in, like even if I'm hungry, I won't go in the 7-Eleven. I have to be full. Like usually to get water. I'm going in there to get water. If I go in there hungry, I'm coming out with a Snickers bar and an ice
Brendan,
cream.
here's the thing, right? Sugar, I'm going to give you the lowdown. I'm going to give you the secret. The 4 things that every convenience store around the world, but particularly happening in Thailand now, they do 4 things. And people, once they're in, they can't get off. Added sugars, whether it's syrups, sweeteners, sugar, sucralose, whatever. Look at the back of the label. They often will label these things differently because they don't want sugar to appear first on the label. So by law, they need to put the highest proportioned ingredient first on the list and the least at the bottom. So because sugar comes in many forms, sugar cane, honey, fructose, whatever, they will label them all differently so that it's not first on the list. Number 1. That's what packaged food does. Second of all, so added sugars is 1. Second of all, it's refined grains. So flour, basically. Flour, so white and white. So think sugar, white. Think flour, white. Think cocaine, all white. All addictive stuff. Flour is very cheap, but it's refined. They strip away all the nutrients. So wheat isn't the problem because it would have had fiber. It would have been natural. It would have been whole. And we strip it away and we make white flour. What exists in nature that is white? It doesn't. It's very rare. The White Cliffs of Dover, pretty much, salt, sugar. There's not, flour is not supposed to be white. If you go into, Africa and you grow grain and you mill it, it's not white.
It's like yellow.
It's yellowy.
Yeah.
So they strip it away. They bleach it. Mm-hmm. So that you've got this nice white bread and you've got these nice white cakes and you've got these nice white donuts that you're just like, So refined grains. Number 3, refined seed oils. People need to understand it's not the problem of seeds. Seeds are great. It's the problem that when you refine the oil and you strip away everything the seed would have had with it, and you're left with this highly inflammatory oil. So canola, soybean, vegetable oil, all these oils are just raising your blood sugar. So I've just told you the 3 main culprits of raising your blood sugar: sugar, grains, refined grains, and refined seed oils. These are the big 3. And then you ask yourself, what product has all 3? Pretty much every processed food. Why? Because they're all cheap. So flour, sugar, vegetable oils. Every processed food has them. So if you make one decision today, lower your consumption of processed food.
Don't go in the 7-Eleven.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying never eat these foods. The body, as I told you, can detoxify itself. But you can't have 100% of that food. Maybe let's target 80 to 20. Now, you mentioned earlier you like a drink on the weekend. A couple of drinks 1 or 2 nights a week is not going to ruin your health. What's going to ruin your health is every day eating shit. I always say to my clients, let's say most people eat 3 to 4 meals a day. Let's say 3, keep the math simple. There's 21 meals. When I say to someone, what's your diet like? Often the first thing they'll say is, I just love pizza and I love, drinks and alcohol and I go out, blah, blah, blah. I just want to stay as I am because I'm happy with that. I'm like, great. If you do that 2 to 3 meals out of your 21, let's say even 4, let's go for 4. If you eat 4 meals, a couple of beers, go out for a pizza, whatever else, bit of spaghetti bolognese, or whatever you do, there's still another 17, 18 meals to get right. And so people focus, on all the shit. But if you can get the 18 pretty good, that can counterbalance the pretty shit. Like, I eat pizza, I eat burgers, but I also eat 18 of my other meals perfectly. So, often I'm in a cafe or something and, a client will see me and I'm like, I show them what I eat. I'm like, I'm not this person who just eats like a rabbit. Like I eat proper food and I eat processed food. So although I've just told you all of the harmful effects of all those foods I've just mentioned on you, I'm also real. Like sugar is not the enemy. Too much sugar is the enemy. Refined grains is not the enemy. Too much refined grains. Balance is what I'm talking about here. That's where you get results.
I think that's, if you enjoyed this content, we're doing 5 clips like this a week. If you want to watch the full podcast, click here.